Hello. In this experiment, we are going to learn how one packet can be transferred using a router from one network to another network, which is not placed in the same location or in the same network. So we are going to use IP routing here. Um, so I've made three networks. This is the my network 10.0.0.0, or I can say 1, 2, 3. I've given the IP addresses to these PCs. The network between these routers is my 20.0.0.0, and this network is 30.0.0. The routers are connected using a serial port, that is serial port DCE. Now I'll explain how I've configured the router. Since when the packet is sent from the network 10.0.0, the packet does not have any idea. The For example, if the packet is sent from 10.0.0.1 to 30.0 to 20, okay, so this is 20 and this is 30 to 20.0.0.1. This PC, the packet has no idea where the network 20 is, so that is stored in this router. So this router, what it does is when the switch does not find 20 in this network, it will forward the packet to the router. The router checks its RIP routing table. From there, it gets to know that if the packet is not if that the packet it is connected to the 30 network, so it will forward to the 30th network. And from this now routing router, it will get to know that from 30 it can go to 20, and hence the packet will reach here. So now I'll show you the configuration. I've configured the router using the configuration terminal as we had done in the lab 1. I've given the name R2 write to it using the host name. I've given a password for the enable so that no one can access the privilege. No one can enter the privilege access without a password. I use line console 0. Line console 0 command is to connect a switch or router through a medium console, and I give a password to that. These passwords are saved as a plain text, and the password is done at the login phase. Now I'm going to give a telnet access to the router. So I'll use VTY. Telnet access is an access where a user or an admin in a particular network can access the configuration of a router which is not directly connected to it, or present at a different location. So VTY is a virtual port and is used to get telnet access to the device. VTY is solely used for inbound connections to the device. Uh, I'll put a login and password at the telnet session. Transport input telnet tells that the protocol used will be a telnet protocol. I'll give the username as user and password as Cisco. Service password encryption will encrypt the password that I've stored. As I mentioned that they are previously they were stored in plain text. Now I'll configure the interfaces. So the gigabit Ethernet 0.0. So we can see that this is, yeah. So this is uh, I've selected outer one. So this is 0.0 and this is serial. So I'll set this up. Since we know that this is the 20th network, I'll inform the router that at gigabit Ethernet 0.0, I'll first of all turn it on by typing no shutdown, and I'll specify the IP address to it. This actually becomes the default gateway for these PCs, since these PC will know that when the IP address, the destination address is not present in the network, it will just send the packet to the default gateway, and from there it will route to another network. Now I'll also configure the serial port, which is this 0/3/0. I'll turn it on and I'll specify the IP address as 30, since this is my 30th network. Serial port in serial port, and a bandwidth is to be specified. So here I've given a bandwidth of 128. Now I'll so here I'll mention that yeah, the IP route has to be done from yeah, so whenever you get a packet from 10, it has to be routed to 30. And here I turn on the gigabit Ethernet. Similarly, I've configured the router 0, and now we can try to ping 20.0.1 from this PC. 20.0.0. So we can see that the packets have been sent successfully. I'll run a simulation in order to get a better idea about the route of our packets. So I'll open the simulation. IMCP packets are basically Internet Control Message Protocol. They are used to provide an error control to it, and also I'm going to provide an ARP, inform about the ARP protocol. Address resolution protocol is a communication protocol used for discovering the link address and the MAC addresses. So it is used here in order to get the information about the MAC address and link layer address inside the packet. So I'll just turn on the simulation. When I turn this on, you will see that the packet from this PC will go here. From this router, it will uh, traverse here and it will end here. So you can see that the packet has reached here. Here when I click on the packet, you can see that inbound PDU details. Here you can see the destination address changes to 0B01, which is the address of this router. Now we see, yeah, so here the destination is reached. Yeah, so the outbound PDU uses when the when the packet is between being routed between the routers, the protocol that is used is HDLC, and so here we'll be able to get a better idea. Yeah, so outbound is PDO format and the destination address is given. Uh, Here HDLC is used and here Ethernet 2 is used. In this way, we have provided a proper simulation.